Okay, so when I'm not working on crafts for my YouTube channel or my beer review channel, I'm back here usually working on this trail that leads to the creek. And this is also the Drew's bonfire / spooky solar light walkthrough. Now this is the entrance to it, but this here is our field. And then that's the neighbors, and then there's our house there. And usually I have fires up at the house, and then we walk through here, through the field and through the trail here at night. But here's the beginning of it. Now, if you see, there's solar lights here, and there's solar lights here along the trees. It usually goes along the tree lines. There are some spots where I'm going to have to get some poles on the ground so I can make sure the lights are evened out. But a couple benches out here that came from our wedding. Some land in here I want to fill in with some better dirt because it's kind of bumpy and just not very appealing for grass, as you can tell. But I'm not sure if we're going to do like some kind of garden or something. Right now it's really shady in here, so it probably wouldn't be that good, but I don't know, maybe some flower beds, stuff like that. Not quite sure. So like I said, this is basically what I work on when I'm not working on my crafting videos or my beer reviews, or I'm not at work. Sometimes it's really hard to get out here. Example here is, this is one of my campsites. I cleared it up a couple years ago, and I haven't gotten back to it to keep it clear. Have some other camp areas that I just stayed with more than this one. It's one of those, I can get it cleaned up in a couple days, no big deal. But we'll keep on going. .5 acres of land is what we have back here. Now, when we moved here, this was all overgrown and everything else. Two previous owners before us, he actually would mow this path and everything else, but I guess the other owner didn't really get that much into it. Over here, we have a bunch of sawdust that I got from the neighbor. He had a sawmill, and I was taking a lot of his sawdust to try to level this out, and he came over and dumped some and helped me spread it out. Gonna get some more dirt back here and level it out a little bit better, but got a bench sitting there upside down for now. But eventually I might put like a volleyball net or something back here, like a permanent one, and then you could play volleyball back here, or badminton or whatever. Still got a lot of work to do. I got some cleaning up to do around in certain areas, like over here. Kind of want to make it a little wider, especially when you're trying to pull in a camper. Brother-in-law of mine did that the year of our wedding, 2 years ago about, and he got it in there no problem, but I could see where he needed a little bit more room, so I'll have to clear it out better if somebody brings a camper down here again. So we took another one of our benches from the wedding and put it out here. Now this shed, I'm not sure how old it is. I think the previous owner was using it as a place to hang his dead deer and, gut it and everything else. Nothing really quite fancy. Roof needs to be fixed. Small things need to be done. The frame's pretty good, it's just everything else needs to be fixed. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll turn it into a tool shed for back here so I don't have to drag the tools from the house or whatever. So that's that of this campsite here, which I really like this one the most. Well, almost the most. Number 2. Okay, now we got another campsite over here, another bench from the wedding. Some more area cleared out that kind of connects right into where I want that volleyball net. Or at least put a picnic table or something so people can use it. Okay, so this goes back quite a bit. Still working on some of it. See, connects right into the volleyball area, which could be another camping area if need be, I guess. Okay, before we go down the hill, as you see right over here, I have a bunch of stone. I had it stacked nicely a little bit. Maybe not 100%, but, you know, I had a nice little wall going. I think some of my nephews were over here and messed it up a little bit. Like I said, I didn't have it 100% anyways. But when I clear this this area over here where all the ferns, you know, mow that down and everything else. But I'd like to redo this and get this all nice and cornered off. Then when we start going down the hill a bit, I've got tires along the side, which I actually found out here in the woods. I'm thinking the original owners, whoever owned this land, they would dump all their metal and glass and everything else back here. Tires, you know. So I just took the tires and made a wall out of it, because you go downhill, and if you're going too fast, you're going to go into the woods. So, I mean, it's not a far or a big drop, but I just thought it looked kind of cool. But you probably can't see it, but over in there, there's underneath the leaves and stuff, there's old metal cans and glass and everything else buried in there. So when I walk through there, it's like I got to be careful I don't put glass through my foot. Someday I'll clean that out too. So then over here in this spot, if you guys can see this, and this is something I really want to do, I'd like to do. You see this little cove into the hill there. I want to clean it up a little bit and make a hobbit hole, or a hobbit home, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, Lord of the Rings stuff. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, some trees are going to have to come down and stuff like that, or I just build around it. But, you know, something kind of cool just to say you have, you know. Even if it doesn't get used or anything like that, it would at least be cool to kind of make it. So we'll just continue on down this trail here. And then we'll get to the main camp area. And along these trees here, along the paths, are solar lights in them. So like, I will try to do a video showing you that, if it'll come out good or not. I think last time I tried it, it didn't work quite well. So we'll see. We'll try it again. Maybe not so dark. We'll see. And of course, all the stones that you see on the side here, you know, they're not all nicely stacked or anything, but I basically did all those too. A lot of it came from the field when I had the neighbor help me clear out all the rocks out of the field, and other random places. Just stuff that was out here that was in the way. So I'm thinking between these two trees here and back would be an awesome place for a pavilion. And then over here to this spot right here where the concrete bricks are, the cinder blocks, and of course the stones that are already here in the ground, I'd like to put like a 12 by 12 shed back here, and then attach a deck to it. Once again, I think this would be the perfect spot to put a shed and turn it into a cabin. And then put a porch on the front of it, or a deck, so you can come out from the shed and just sit and enjoy the view. And then over here, Got a couple benches set up already. Got a nice fire pit over here, huge fire pit. And over here used to be an old horseshoe pit, which I am going to eventually rebuild, re-level this land out here because it's all unlevel. The other horseshoe pit is back here. There's the other horseshoe pit. And then back there, I have another bench, which I might eventually move up because I think it's too far from the horseshoe pit. But I'm going to fill in all this with dirt. I would like to. And then it will extend. I want to level out all this land that's in here right now. It's just a big old drop-off hole. Fill that all in. I got some kind of starting to do a border of how far I want to go back for now. And back here, where all the tall ferns are and stuff, usually after winter, this is a little bit of a swamp, but it does eventually dry up. But a lot of the rain and snow and everything else, when it melts, comes down this way and will flood out this area. So I kind of want to wall it off so it doesn't, and then try to redirect it a different path. But continuing on. So there's the rest of the borders. Kind of just follow this path, if you guys can see it. Got a little bit of path there. And then that'll continue on right back up to the fire pit area. But it's a slow process. Wish I could get it to go faster, but it's hard to do this with just one person. This is just the fire pit area. Horseshoe area. Okay, now we're going to go down the rest of the trail down towards the creek, and I'll kind of show you what I've done through here besides clearing out most of this. So just bear with me and enjoy. Now this here is a path I've started, and there's a whole bunch of more woods back there, and I want to make like a big huge circle. I was thinking about clearing it out eventually, all of it, but it's going to take years by myself. But if I can make just a track around it, which would be awesome for like four-wheelers and stuff like that, that would be good enough for me for now. But let's continue on. And then here we are through the rest of the path. Now when we get here, of course, now the sun's going to be in our view. But this tree here and this tree here, I have a light on the bottom, middle, and kind of like the top, if you see that. And then I have some on the other side. And at night, when you come to this spot, it actually looks like a doorway or a portal going through. I think eventually I might put a board across the top to make it look more like a portal, and then maybe hang some kind of lights or something off it. But we'll continue on. So we'll go through the portal now, through the doorway, and continue on. Over here is another trail I had at one time, which is now overgrown, but that would connect up with the other trail that I showed you earlier. It basically would follow this whole path next to it, off to the side. And of course, there was another one I started over here, but now has been overgrown. But eventually I'll get back to it. Continue on. Now, a lot of these trees, if you've noticed, going by, have solar lights on them. Those are the lights I use for the spooky walk through the woods that I have on my Facebook page. Now this is a box that we found, I think it was on the side of the road or somewhere near the property, and we grabbed it and just put it here. There's nothing in it besides spiders probably. It's empty. I mean, I could put, or actually use it and put wood in there or put something else in there, but I was going to do something with this, and for some reason I only got it this far. I think I was actually going to bring this down the stairs, but I think I got this far, and that's as far as it's ever gotten. So let's continue on. Now we're starting to get towards the creek, and where it starts to get a little rough back here. All kind of goes downhill, uphill a little bit. Now over here, in this open area in here, I want to clear it out a little bit more, maybe get some more dirt back here. And I actually, if I was going to do like a Halloween theme thing, I'm going to get some of this flat slate stone here and put them up there and make them look like graves, whatever else. I was actually thinking about expanding it beyond a little bit further, maybe get rid of some of these pines, I'm not sure, because it would basically go to over here. If I wanted to follow all the tree lines, it would go to like here. So these pines are, I'm going to keep the big guy there, but there's some of the little ones I might get rid of. But let's continue on, guys. Okay, now we're getting down a little bit more. Now we're getting close to the ladder, or to the stairs, I mean. And I know you can't see it right now, but that light is actually on. It's getting quite a little darker but down here, so some of the lights are starting to turn on. Okay. You see that light's on. And if you look down the stairs, I have lights going all the way down. There's 26 total. These light up pretty nice at night. It looks really nice. I'll probably do another video of me walking through the woods with the lights, and we'll see how that works out. But here we go. It's about 3 flights of stairs. Now these stairs were here before I moved here, so some people, previous owners, built this. All I did is the one over here on the left because there was no rail on that side at all. And I wanted to make it a little safer, so I put some on each side. I do get some people come down these stairs just so they can get to the creek, because there's a nice fishing hole over here. So now we're at the bottom of the stairs, and I know you guys can't see it, but straight back through all that trees and over the other side of the creek, there's a small little waterfall, and when we get some good rain, it comes down really nice. I'm going to clear that out some more so you can see that better. But let's continue on. This path was kind of here. I put the stones on the side. There was a bunch of beach pebbles and stuff, or not beach pebbles, but the pebbles from the creek, from the shore underneath here. Of course, now the leaves and stuff have kind of taken over. I mean, I could rake it up, but I think it works good enough just the way it is. So, almost there. You can see the stone wall in the background. Now, come over here, you see our petting tree, which somebody that came down here decided to pull a lot of the moss off this tree, which I was kind of really upset about, because this whole tree was just covered in this. And the first time my brother was ever down here, before I had all the lights, he walked right into this tree in the middle of the dark and freaked out because he had no clue what he just bumped into. And this thing was covered in that moss. So that was quite a good laugh right there. Okay, so now we're at the edge of my property, which, you know, runs yay that way and runs way that way somewhere, but 12.5 acres. One of the lights down here already on. Brought down another bench that we had from down here, from up at the house. Yeah, this bike washed up here one year, and I just sat it there, and it's sat there ever since. It hasn't washed away yet. But now we're gonna go down. Here's the stairs. First one's a doozy. The rest are easy. Then we got our little stone beach here. I got some of my solar lights up around here, which look really nice at night. Which, like I said, if I do another trip down here, I have to grab the solar lights that are in the water. But there you guys go. There's the wall on the other side, the slate stone wall. At least I think that's slate, right? I don't know. But that's a creek. Down here you can actually walk out there quite a bit past that log, and then after that it's just a boom drop, and then you can go swim across, and when you get to the other side there against this wall there's a ledge. It's almost like steps, all, you know, basically going all the way down that way, and then boom, you got the big huge drop off hole there. I'm not sure how deep it is. I've tried to get to the bottom. One of my nephews tried to swim to the bottom. No luck touching the bottom, so it's pretty deep, I guess. So I guess that's about it, guys, for this part. So there you guys go. Like I said, I'll try to do another video for night, not guaranteeing how well that's gonna go.